It is take two for June 1, 2023.
Take two?
Well, take two because you didn't see the first one.
I thought that was just a dream I had.
No, it was could have been nightmarish, I guess, in some respect.
Right.
Welcome to Thursday, June 1st of 2023.
Hi, everybody.
We've gone through 5 months already.
I'm not even going to say it. Because every time I do it, you say that all the time.
It seems like it just was
time goes by when you're having fun.
Well, and as we've discussed, the older we get, the quicker it seems to go.
Yeah. Teresa Reap even said that the other day. So if she's saying it, it's not just my imagination. Yeah.
Once again, you may have been dreaming somewhere, but I heard her say it too. Yeah. So, welcome to the program. It is Thursday, and that means we're close to the weekend. This week has flown by because of having Monday off due to the holiday, but we jump right into the month of June, and now all kinds of stuff is going to start rapidly happening each and every day,
right?
Including the Chillicothe Paints, which will be at VA Memorial Stadium tonight. So we'll touch on that in sports and a whole lot more right here on this very same program. But first, weather. The weather is hot.
It is.
And I tell you, I was standing outside. And usually when you put a key in the door, you walk through, well, here we have a keypad. Mm-hmm. So I'm putting in my security code. And as I'm putting that in, I'm feeling the back of my head begin to bake in the sun. And I'm thinking, glad we're working inside today.
Yeah, we're almost to 80 already, and we're looking for a high of almost 90. And that's going to become a pattern over the next few days. Sunshine today through the weekend with highs in the upper 80s each day. As you see there on our little graphic, we're showing as high as 93 tomorrow. Is that 5 o'clock? Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And for those high school kids that are playing either on AstroTurf or running on an artificial track.
Or wearing black jerseys.
That's going to be tough going, yeah.
I recall one of the radio stations I worked for in Columbus, we had these black jerseys with orange colors. And I'm like, why on earth are we wearing black in summertime?
Yeah.
And they were heavy jerseys. And the only reason was because Jimmy Jam, the hairy man from WNCI, he went to Delaware High School. And so they were black and orange. And I'm thinking, why didn't you get orange ones with black lettering?
Yeah.
Would have been cooler.
Yeah.
And looked cooler, too. All right, coming up in just a moment, we'll get you caught up to date on what's happening around the Scioto Valley here, news-wise, sports-wise, and this date in history will take us back to 1934?
Yes.
Okay. My short-term memory is still around. That's good. We want to say thank you to the many sponsors that we have that make this show possible. So if you would, please support our sponsors, Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. They can bring a dumpster to you. They'll set it where you want it. You fill it up. They'll come back and they'll take it all away. And then you'll just kind of wipe your hands clean of everything. Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Tell Carl Dan and Mike sent you. Coming up, news next.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance, on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Time to inform the public on what's happening, Mike.
Yes.
It's news time.
We start out with something that's coming up at about this time tomorrow up in Pickaway County near Circleville. An open house ribbon cutting will be held at the Pickaway County Park District's Canal Park. Volunteers have been busy getting the new primitive playground and canal path deck completed before tomorrow's special event, which will be at 11 a.m., and is open to the public. Now, these guys are great workers, but they don't work that fast. This is obviously a time-lapse visual of what they were doing yesterday morning at that location.
And we're going there.
Yes, Dan will be up there to get some drone video, because it encompasses more than just where the lock was. There's a lot of work that's been done on the bike path. There's a walk bridge going in, but Dan will have coverage of all of that coming up.
I've got the batteries charging for the drone already.
I noticed that, yeah. Also coming up later this month, First Wesleyan Church in Chillicothe is hosting their annual Day in the Park. That'll be Sunday, June the 11th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Poland Park. This is something that the church has had open to the community for years now. There'll be food, inflatables, face painting, crafts for kids, and much, much more. Everyone is welcome, and it's all free. The Renaissance Singers perform Gloria at First Presbyterian Church also on June the 11th, and that works out pretty good. It's a 2, so you can go to the picnic in the park and then go to First Presbyterian. Now, the concert features Vivaldi's masterwork and other sacred pieces, better known as the Rennies, the Renaissance Singers, coming up on June the 11th. The Ohio Power Sighting Board will hold a local public hearing regarding AEP Ohio Transmission Company's proposal to construct the Althea Sweet Gum Transmission Line project in Scioto County. The project will be in Porter and Greene Townships. Now, the public hearing is August the 8th at Wheelersburg Middle School, and that gets underway at 5 p.m. I believe the transmission lines are going to be located about 10 miles or so from Wheelersburg, so not too far away there. Observers reported 357 sandhill cranes in Ohio during the volunteer-driven 2023 Midwest Crane Count on April the 15th. Well, the numbers finally came out from the ODNR Division of Wildlife yesterday. The count was coordinated by Division of Wildlife, International Crane Foundation, and the Ohio Bird Conservation Initiative. The survey was conducted in 30 pre-selected counties during the crane's nesting season to monitor Ohio's growing breeding population of sandhill cranes. Now, Pickaway County was among them, but this year they did not show up as far as among the top several counties as far as the number of sandhill cranes that were counted. You can read more about it on our website at littermedia.com.
Before the road report, don't forget, it is First Thursdays and the first one of the year.
In downtown Chillicothe.
Yes, and they've combined the pizza and the Wing Fest.
Ooh,
so it's both together tonight. Music provided by The Keys. And again, that starts at 5, runs until 8 o'clock. I believe on our schooler it says 9, but it's actually 8 o'clock. So if you want to check that out, it's $2 food sample tickets and a $5 band cover as well.
You know I like pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a big wing fan, but I love pizza.
Yeah, I'm more boneless wings than I am for those that have the bones on them, because you just got to work your way around the bones.
Yeah. So. I like boneless pizza too.
Amen to that.
Now, have you ever had the pizza with chicken on it? Like Jerry's used to do? I don't know if they still do that or not.
I've done that. I like it with pineapple. It gives you a little sweet taste to it as well. So
I'm not much on the pineapple.
I don't do it very often, but I have had that.
Gotcha. So. Well, enjoy that. That's today, 5 to 8. In Ross County, as far as our road report's concerned, work between Blaine Highway and Bishop Hill Road is currently underway, with a project also including bridge repairs and maintenance at the intersection of State Route 772 and Grubb Road. Now, during construction, traffic on 772 will be maintained in one lane, and the Grubb Road is now closed and will be for probably another 30 days or so as part of this construction. During the closure, Grubb Road traffic will be detoured via Bishop Hill Road and State Route 772.
Been traveling through there, and I'm telling you, there's one spot and one bridge that they are working on. They've taken up the concrete from it just to get down to close to where they can see the rebar that needs to be repaired. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they put that little bit of blacktop in there so that you can have like a ramp to go down and then ramp back out. It's not so much on one side. If you're coming into Chillicothe, man, when you hit it, you hit it.
Yeah.
And I hit it the other day, and it surprised me. And it must have surprised someone before me, because there was part of an exhaust system laying by the side of the roadway there. But just be patient, go through there. When it says bump, it means
Bump.
And
they're not talking about encouraging you to dance.
right. And they've also put speed bumps in Yaktangi Park. I don't know if you've seen that.
I saw some comments about that the other day.
Yeah.
Some folks didn't care for that.
And I'm wondering how that might. Next weekend's the Southern Ohio Forest Rally, and part of that stage is through Yaktangi Park. I wonder if they're going to.
Well,
I don't know if the speed bump has been there.
that may be something that they want. I don't know.
Yeah, that very well could be. Yeah, it could be. We want to remind you that also going on is Deer Creek Dam Days, and it opens back up again today and tomorrow at 4 p.m. both days. Saturday it opens up at 11. So if you're looking to ride the Midway rides and everything else, Blake Bissell is performing at 7:30 this evening. I don't know if the rides are being done by Bissell.
Oh, never thought of that.
And I don't know if there's any correlation there or not, or maybe it's just word association I'm throwing together. But so don't forget, Deer Creek Dam Days, Williamsport, going on even as we speak.
Yeah, through Saturday.
All right. Coming up in just a moment, we'll take a look at what is happening in the world of sports. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Your trusted comfort advisor. If you've got an issue with one of those in your home or your business, click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It'll take you right to their website where you can learn more about the services, service territory, and more about who Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is. Check them out now.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Time to jump into sports.
And there's a ton of it going on today. High school baseball coaches throughout the Southeast District have announced their all-district selections. Selections are made in each division for both East and West, along with Coaches of the Year for both East and West. Again, you can get the full rundown, Divisions 1 and 2 combined, and then you have 3 and 4 separately. All of that information on our website at littermedia.com. And as we told you last week, we have received nothing about the district or state softball. That usually doesn't come out until the state tournament is over, and that is this weekend. Speaking of state softball, Wheelersburg takes on Canfield Southridge at the state semi at Akron Firestone Stadium. That gets underway at approximately 12:30 this afternoon. I say approximately because the first game of the day started at 10. So depending on how long that game goes is when the Wheelersburg game would get underway.
I have never rooted for Canfield South Range in any fashion whatsoever, but today I'm rooting for them.
Because
Derek Webb is covering the game.
Oh, Lady Pirates.
If Wheelersburg wins, he will have to miss our game Saturday with the Adina Worthingtons.
Coach Teresa Ruby, just remember, Dan Ramey said that, not Mike Smith. I'm rooting for the Lady Pirates. Yeah.
If you win, congratulations. We'll just have to live without Derek Webb.
That's going to be tough.
On the team.
Yeah. Wheelersburg, by the way, is ranked number 1 in the state, and they're the defending state champs.
And they've won 30 games? That's
30-0 this season. Wow. As you can see, the baseball games that are going on today, they're at the regional level. I'll just go down to the Lady Pirates counterparts at Wheelersburg, the baseball team. They got underway About 20 minutes ago out at VA Memorial Stadium in one of the regional semis, sticking with Division III at Ohio Dominican at 5 today. It's the Eastern Brown Warriors against Cadiz Harrison Central. Division IV, both semifinal games at Lancaster Beavers Field. That's South Webster Berlin Highland at 2, followed by White Oak and Seneca East. Then jumping back up to regional baseball tournament action, Division II at Ohio Dominican at 2 p.m. Bloom Carroll against Washington Courthouse. Chillicothe Paints opened their season last night, and they went 10, but ended up losing to the Aviators by a score of 8-7. That's a big guy.
He is a big guy.
And tonight is a big night as the Paints have their home opener for the season against the Champion City Kings, VA Memorial Stadium. That is a 7:05 first pitch.
Including a fireworks extravaganza.
Woo! After the game.
After the game, yes.
But I imagine a fireworks extravaganza during the game would be maybe a lot of long balls.
It would be. It would be that, yes.
Yes, sir. Turning to the big leagues. Hey, 5 in a row for the Reds. Winning again in Boston last night, 5-4. And they wrap up that series at Fenway later tonight.
Spencer Steer goes over the Green Monster.
He did indeed.
How about that?
He had a nice upward trajectory on that swing.
And I think it was Luke Maley, the catcher, had one almost go over the Monster.
Yeah, it hit the very, very top of the wall. I think he got a double out of that. Guardians did win their series against the O's 12-8. So congratulations to Cleveland. And some event up in Dublin, Ohio is underway this morning. Oh, yeah, the Memorial Golf Tournament. It's not a major, but it's probably one of the bigger non-major tournaments that it's been out there for decades. It's at Muirfield Village up in Dublin, Ohio. And as we said, they already teed off earlier this morning.
The thing about it is it is this week of May. The forecasters are saying 0 chance of rain, but it's the Memorial. It always rains during the Memorial at some point in time.
There'll probably be a cloud that'll just hang over Dublin.
It'll be like what happened at my house the other night, where it just pops up and boom, and then takes off.
Everybody will be hauling their plants to Dublin, Ohio to see if they can get some rain on them. Yeah,
that could be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, that's a check of sports. Coming up, the Litter Media Wayback Machine goes to
1934 in Japan.
Japan. Okay.
Pre-World War II.
So that is just ahead right after these words from our fine sponsors here at Litter Media Live.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
At Rathkamp Financial, we act as your advocate in all wealth matters. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Budweiser beer, the king is second to none.
Who drinks Budweiser? You know the type. The people who grind. Those who don't back down. And the ones who don't quit. They say all people are 6 degrees of separation away from each other. But some are just a 6-pack away. The people who share the same spirit, share the same beer. This Bud's for you.
Hi, I'm Dave Pinkerton with Advanced Services Heating and Cooling, your local heating and cooling expert. If you want quality service, quality installation, give Advanced Services a call, 740-773-4499.
It's that time of the day when we go back in time and we learn from Mr. History, Mike Smith.
I couldn't pronounce the Japanese name, but in English it translated as Automobile Manufacturing Company Limited.
Really?
Well, on this date in 1934, they changed their name to one that we recognize, Nissan Motor Company. The company's new name, adopted in June of 34, was an abbreviation for Nippon Sangyo. Nissan produced its first Datsun, I can remember this was still a car, back in the 70s, at its Yokohama plant in April of 35. Now, the company began exporting cars to Australia that same year, but beginning in 1938 and lasting throughout World War II, Nissan, like Ford and Chrysler and all of them in the United States during World War II, converted entirely from producing small passenger cars to producing trucks and military vehicles. Allied occupation forces seized much of Nissan's production operations in 1945 and didn't return full control to Nissan until a decade later. But it became Nissan on this date in 1934.
And what was the name?
I couldn't even pronounce it. It was like...
That didn't sound very Japanese.
No, and I thought I'd just give the English translation, which was pretty basic. Automobile Manufacturing Company Limited, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mike didn't take Japanese at
I did not.
Dina High School.
Did not.
Did they? No. German was taught at so many of the high school levels. I don't know if it still is or not.
It is not.
And I don't know if did that fall away after World War II or what the case may be. I mean, our German heritage here in Ohio is incredible. Mm-hmm. But I just don't know why the language isn't offered the way it used to be.
We had German and French, and then I think with so many people immigrating from the Latin countries, Spanish got to be, and still is, really big. And some of the schools, I know Chillicothe and Bishop Leger were teaching Mandarin, which is the major language in China. Mm-hmm. I can't remember, they told me that there was like 20 or 30 different languages spoken in China, but Mandarin was the biggie.
China is a big country.
Yes, it is.
And I recall doing an interview on radio one time about, I think it was a National Geographic, I think, had put out this book about China. Mm-hmm. And so I had booked an interview to talk to someone. And you're right, there were 20 plus different dialects and languages of Chinese. And you think about how English is spoken. Mm-hmm. I remember when Napoleon Cross moved up here from down in Arkansas and doing interviews with him, and he would stop speaking, and I would okay, I have no clue what he just said.
You just said,
But I'm going to follow that up with something else, and then he would jump right back into it. But just amazing how the English language is spoken so differently in different parts of the country.
Absolutely, even in Southern Ohio.
You're right.
We went to, when I played VFW ball I just got an email from Honda Media Alert. They want equal time. When we went to Cleveland, we were checking in at the hotel, and the gal said, "You guys are from Southern Ohio, aren't you?" I didn't think we had a dialect, but apparently we did.
One of the gals I worked with at Sunny 95 was from the Cleveland area, and we were sitting and having lunch one day, and she was talking about just how I said certain words. And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she says, "Well, for instance, the writing utensil is called a pen." And I was calling it pin, which is how we all say it down here. My wife and I were talking about this over the weekend when I had mentioned the word Portsmouth, which is how so many people down south of here call the city Portsmouth. And she said, I thought that's how it was said until I finally saw the spelling on it when I was younger, because everybody around me said Portsmouth. And so, that's it. But, Gallipolis,
I remember when we were in radio, this I guess could tie in as one of our radio memories. We had a lot of dealings with networks like CBS and Mutual Broadcasting and so forth. And there were times that I had to call New York City because I was keeping track of affidavits of proving that we ran certain programs. And the gal said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Chillicothe." And she said, we have a girl here that was from Chillicothe.
Oh, really?
When she gave me the name, I didn't recognize her, but she, the lady that I talked to, she had a very heavy New England accent, but she knew how to pronounce Chillicothe because of the girl that was working there from Chillicothe. So.
I recall when I worked at WNRE, Parade Magazine had sent out an audio file. Well, it was a reel. It's a file to us today. But back then, it was on reel-to-reel, and I was stringing it up so we could play it for our sports because they were talking about this kid by the name of Garen Veris. But they called him Garen Veris from Chillicothe, Ohio.
Yeah.
And so that was my introduction to Garen Veris. And so you look at the word Chillicothe, obviously, if you've been to Tecumseh, you know the speaking about Chillicothe and so on and so forth, what it means and everything. But this is the original Chillicothe. There is Chillicothe, Missouri, Chillicothe, Illinois. I believe there's a Chillicothe, Indiana, Chillicothe, Texas, and another Chillicothe elsewhere as well. I thought at some point in time, wouldn't it be cool to maybe have some type of a basketball tournament or a baseball tournament and have everyone come from one of those Chillicothes here? Come to find out that the Texas Chillicothe is pretty good sized, but all the others are smaller than like Frankfort.
Right.
So I don't know that it would be an even Steven kind of thing.
Wasn't what led Chip Arledge to bring John Mellencamp? Wasn't he at the Chillicothe, Missouri, in a concert?
I can't say that. I'm not sure.
And, of course, as you said, it's bigger than our Chillicothe, but it's still considered probably a small town. And Chip said, oh, yeah, you want a real small town? Come to our Chillicothe.
Come to this Chillicothe. Yeah.
But how many different pronunciations have you heard out-of-towners give Chillicothe?
Oh, I've never
Chillicothe.
Yeah.
What was the other one I heard? Chillicothe instead of just Chillicothe.
Probably Chillicothe.
Yeah. But when you finally come up with Chillicothe, that makes sense.
I recalled talking with others from other parts of the country about how do I spell that? And this is what came to me. The Mickey Mouse theme. Where you go MICKEY MOUSE CHILLICOTHE.
Yeah. And there was a song, I don't know if it was in the 40s or 50s, Chillicothe, Ohio. Remember that? I think if you Google it, it was a female singer. And it was Chillicothe, Ohio. Yeah. So I don't think it was a big hit, but I
can't remember that one. Yeah. But I do recall Chillicothe's in Hooray for Hollywood, because who'd have thought Paducah, Kentucky, and Chillicothe, Ohio would be linked forever the way they were, all thanks to the atomic power plants. And
it was mentioned in Blue Hawaii with Elvis Presley.
Right.
It was mentioned in the movie Battleground with Van Johnson in 1949. The chaplain that comes to Bastogne at the end of the movie, he's saying, "Where's everybody from?" Well, I'm from Chillicothe, Ohio.
Yeah.
So, it's been in there several times.
And I never saw this because I don't have HBO, but Deadwood, the series, I remember the late Dick Rout calling me up one day to let me know Chillicothe was on the national spectrum again. I said, well, what are you talking about? He says, well, the dentist or the doctor in Deadwood on HBO says he was from Chillicothe, Ohio.
How about that?
Like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But, of course, they also had the World War I theme song about being in Chillicothe because of Camp Sherman, and they came here, and they talked about, I'm going on to Chillicothe. So, which I think you can hear that in the Ross County Historical Society.
Yeah, Dan and Mike both sang on this date. That'll be this date in history next year. This is where the audience died.
I was going to say, how many people are still watching here?
They can sing, yeah.
All right, that's it for the program today. Back at it tomorrow, and you'll be flying solo tomorrow.
You're on assignment in Circleville, and I have an assignment after the 11 o'clock show tomorrow. So
we're a couple of busy guys, and we got stuff to share with you. If you have not looked at our YouTube channel, you can see a lot of what we do there. Follow us on Facebook, on Litter, Twitter, and more. You will see why we're so busy and see the things that we've been doing. And we hope you like it. And if you do, share it with everybody, would you? So for the icon Mike Smith, I'm Dan Ramey. We will see you on the next edition of Litter Media Live tomorrow with Mike Solo.